deer hunter should have one of these things. And I'll tell you something else. They're not that hard to come by, and they're not that expensive to buy. If you keep your eyes open, you're going to be surprised at actually how easy they are to come across. A walk-in cooler will be a huge acquisition and will actually change the way that you hunt deer. Wow. Talk about a tight squeeze. If that trailer was any shorter, this would not work. Holy smokes. Good thing we're not going far. The way that it'll change the way you hunt deer is that if you're hunting early fall in warmer temperatures and you have an opportunity to shoot a deer, if you don't have a walk-in cooler or a cold place to keep it, chances are you're going to pass on that deer because it's not worth the hassle of trying to keep it cold. I've come across a whole bunch of these over the years, and most of them I've sold, but this one I've decided to keep for our deer cutting operation. I've found these things at stores that were closing, restaurants that went out of business. Found one at a mall food court that closed down. This one actually came from a golf course that went out of business. You can really buy these things pretty affordably. I think the most I've ever paid for one was $1,200. This one only cost me $500. The benefit to this one was that it was small enough that I could pick it up and move it with my machine. Typically the bigger ones, you have to disassemble them and then reassemble them wherever you're going to put them. Besides the initial expense of buying them, really the only other money you have to spend is when you hook them up. You'll need an electrician to run the juice to it and a refrigeration guy to re-hook the condenser and evaporator and maybe put in a new Freon charge. But all that shouldn't cost you much more than another few $100. So we have a walk-in cooler for our deer. You know, we cut up our deer, and you know we've got the farm down the road, but we have a turkey farm. But it's tough to be able to keep deer in the walk-in coolers at the turkey farm in November because obviously we need the space for turkeys. So I needed one for here for the homestead. And scored one last week, and I just brought it home, and that was a challenge, as you saw, but just had to unload it, which was also a challenge. I think that's a good location for it. The old Bobcat came in key, and it's gonna go right there. We can back the truck right up to it to you know, unload the deer, and it's gonna work. It's gonna be ideal. You will see this thing in future deer hunting videos. There's no doubt about that.